I just want to add one more thing about the Jupiter-Neptune conjunction in Pisces. If you're working on your personal stuff right now, one of the most powerful and potent ways to get unstuck, right? You feel like you're on a hamster wheel that just goes round and round and round, or no matter how hard you try or how many opportunities you get, it always ends up in the toilet, where something ends up going wrong. The most important and powerful thing you can do right now is to get unstuck from your emotions and to get in and work on any trapped emotions, because those trapped or stuck emotions are also trapped or stuck energies, and that is going to be the biggest source of your self-sabotage ever. So with the Jupiter-Neptune conjunction in Pisces, the ability to heal the emotional body and get unstuck, to get those trapped emotions or energies out of your system so that you can finally be free of them and move forward and make progress in your personal life, is particularly potent now. So take this time and opportunity to work through your stuff. Down below, I've got a couple of book recommendations. If you want to read up on stuff, you can start looking for videos to help you with that. And if you have any you'd like to recommend, absolutely include them in the comments below. Hey, in case you didn't see my short, this is a pretty interesting time right now around this full moon in 2022 of April. Because apparently Ramadan, Passover, and Easter have all occurred on the same day, or started on the same day, which is pretty damn amazing. So, for those of you who are not knowledged or even slightly well-versed in the pagan traditions, which most of these Christian holidays come from, Easter, it was originally Ostera, which is the goddess's fertility holiday. So Easter was traditionally a fertility celebration, or a time of fertility celebration. It was definitely the goddess's holiday. And we have Passover, Ramadan, and Easter, also historically known as Ostera, all happening at the same time. So there's that. Then there's the Russian warship, the crown jewel in the Russian Navy, being sunk to the bottom of the ocean by two missiles called Neptune, or Neptune missiles, which I thought was pretty damn funny. The irony was not lost with the Jupiter-Neptune conjunction in Pisces happening right now. Miracles, I'm telling you, there are miracles abound. And also, apparently, just on a sidebar, Tucker Carlson put out some really out of left field, nobody still understands exactly what's happening here, video, called, the end of men, because apparently men are becoming extinct. Manly men are becoming extinct as far as Tucker Carlson is concerned. Not that his big soft marshmallow behind would ever know what manly man anything is. Good Lord. Yeah, his soft hands and manicured nails. I'm so sure he's ever done anything manly in his life that didn't involve looking in a mirror. Anyway. If you haven't seen the video, poke around for it. Tucker Carlson, The End of Men. It is literally, and it's Twitter is all a buzz about it, because it is literally the most homoerotic thing any of us have ever seen in our life. Like literally, it's gay porn, except all the naughty bits are covered. Holy crap! So, here's the thing. Like periodically, you'll hear me say things or rephrase again and again and again, restate that the goddess has risen. The goddess has been rising for a long time now. She has finally risen, and the time of reckoning is upon us. So understand that this is not a theological push. I'm not asking anybody to convert to anything or give up their religion or whatever. Whatever works for you, works for you. But what I am saying is that in this universe, this was a coordinated effort between masculine and feminine energies. Everything works in duality. We've got two parts to everything. So the universe was co-created by a god and the goddess. Co-created. And from them and their union, the universe was produced. I absolutely have to believe that, because otherwise, why do any of us exist? Why two genders or three genders or four, however they're doing it these days? Why? When we could have just had self-reproducing humans, right? And the fact of the matter is, we know historically that a lot of these modern religions are very patriarchal in their perspective of things. And some texts in Jewish, even in Jewish literature, right, with the books, women are, men's footstools to heaven. I am no one's footstool, thank you very much. Wow, right? So, there's been a lot of socio-political involvement with the church throughout medieval history for us now, but through the modern incarnations of religion and society, post, past the medieval times and moving forward, there's been a lot of that. So there's been a lot of, manipulation of the good teachings, to mobilize men as labor forces and as armies, to overthrow and overtake other nearby regions so that the winning religion in the fight, could take over the area and expand their church base and their influence. So what they used to do with, great religious crusades, we now do with missionaries, right? They only go to the most poor, removed places where these people haven't even heard of their religion, and then instill this fear that if they don't suddenly worship this brand new God they're bringing, that they're going to go to a hell they've never heard of. And the fact of the matter is, if you're one of those heathens, those native heathens living on an island where these religions don't exist, does that mean you were always going to hell? And how is that fair? How does that make any sense? So, I've got issues. I've got so many issues. But it is to say that I absolutely believe that a time of reckoning and recalibration and coming back into balance has been coming for a long time. The goddess has risen, and we see her in so many places and so many faces. Mother has come home, okay, and Mother is taking her rightful seat next to Father, and we are going to straighten this mess out now, okay? So when you hear me say the goddess has risen, it's not because I'm trying to, bring anybody into a cult or anything like that, but it is to say that that is what is happening right now. And if you need a reason to be optimistic and to have confidence in the future and where we're going in spite of everything we're seeing around us, pay attention and look closely, and you'll see that the truth is not only constantly coming up, and undeniably so. Like, we're all seeing it, we're all getting it. And the worst players, the people who are acting as demonic agents, or agents of darkness, unwitting demons, they're acting as unwitting agents for dark forces of darkness. They're really kicking and screaming and fighting hard. Greg Abbott is a classic example, as is DeSantis in Florida, and a few other places where it's just like, what is wrong with these people, right? Like, do you hate women? Like, what the hell, man? Oh my God. So, women, minorities, old people, everybody doesn't look like them, that they're not attracted to. So, we got, it's going to be complicated moving forward, but the goddess is here. She has risen, she is here, and if you look, you can see her everywhere. You can see her everywhere, and we're going to be okay. That's the most important message of all. We're going to be okay. Okay? And in case you missed it, the fight to keep women down and under the boot of, the invested in the old ways patriarchy, not trying to get rid of men. We're trying to get rid of a toxic masculine system that does no one any good, including men. It's never done men any good. In Kentucky, my friends, now, because they've sent a bill through, they can't outlaw abortion, but they can make it literally impossible for clinics and doctors to be able to provide safe abortion services for women who need them. That they've literally passed a bill through that has made it impossible. The requirements for clinics to be able to do this legally now is impossible for them to meet. So the only two clinics in the entire state of Kentucky have shut down. And mind you, if you're not familiar with Kentucky, there's only one little strip of Kentucky, I think on the east side, where it's the bluegrass area where all the wealthy live, the small minority of wealthy people in Kentucky. And a lot of other people, the highest majority of population lives on the other side of the Appalachian Mountains. If you're familiar with the movie, oh my God, it had, I'll think of it in a second, because it had the kid playing a weird banjo, Deliverance. If you're familiar with the movie Deliverance, like those hill people, those creepy, scary hill people that they showed, are like what we think of when we think of hillbillies living in poverty on the other side of the Appalachian Mountains. That's where the majority of the population in Kentucky is. There's an unbelievable amount of teen pregnancy occurring in that area. They're one of the poorest states in the country and one of the highest recipients of welfare as a result of the unprecedented and uncontrolled teen pregnancies, and lack of education and lack of jobs, because it's very hard to build industry in those mountains. And oh my God, it just goes on and on and on and on. This is Mitch McConnell's territory. So now they've just gotten rid of the only 2 abortion clinics on both sides of the state, or driven them out of business. So now literally there's no exception for who can get an abortion. So literally, if you get raped by your uncle, brother, daddy, and you're in Kentucky and you're 9 and you get pregnant, you're screwed. You are totally screwed, because you can't get an abortion even if you need one. Even if your pregnancy is going to threaten the life of the baby and you cannot get an abortion. This just went through. So this is what we're kind of up against. So the more the goddess is making her presence known, the more the reckoning is happening. And the old toxic patriarchal ways have to end. And we have to get back to a more equanimous, balanced, co-creative way of living. The more we're trying to set the tables right again, the harder some of these people are kicking and screaming and fighting and literally trying to drag us back to the dark ages. So when you see them getting really out of hand, and they are, boy, they're really out of hand now, know that it is because not only is the fight on, but they're losing, because people don't fight that hard or play that dirty unless they know that this is literally the end of the road for their nonsense. So keep the faith, my friends. Keep the faith, and understand that as messy as things are, if you keep your mind right and you look for the signs, that progress is being made, right? And where the fight is on, because progress is being made and they're doing everything they can to stop it. That's the thing that matters. So let's get our minds in the right place, and let's focus on leaving this a better world for our children. Okay?